Sup nerds, here's the deck that ruined my locals. Starting off with our Tama, we play 4 BT12 Koromon. The inheritable is once per turn, your turn. One of your red or yellow Tamers is suspended, minus 1000 DP in one of your opponent's Digimon. Onto our rookies, we're playing 4 BT12 Agumon. The effect is on play, look at the top 4 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon with Greymon in its name, and 1 Marcus Daemon to your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. The inheritable is your turn once per turn when one of your red or yellow Tamers becomes suspended, minus 2000 DP in one of your opponent's Digimon. This little guy does evo for 1 on a yellow or red Tama, but he also evos for 0 on top of Koromon. On to our next rookie, it's also an Agumon, a 4 EX4 Agumon. The effect is start of your main phase. If you have a red or yellow Tamer in play, gain 1 memory. This is the guy you want to evo in your raising area, so when you promote, you get an extra memory to pop off on your opponent. And the inheritable is your turn once per turn when one of your red or yellow Tamers becomes suspended, draw 1. Also really good for seeing your wombo pieces. This little guy also evos for 0 on top of Koromon. And on to our last rookie, 4 Promo Harrismon. This is the security Digimon that Japan had for about 2 years before we got it, finally. Thank you, Bandai. The effect is security at the end of the battle. One of your opponent's Digimon gains security tech -1, then add this card to your hand. It's not as strong as I anticipated it being. Actually decided to replace it with 4 BT9 Pillowmon. The effect is all turns, players can't play Digimon by effects. So this actually doo-doos on this format. This hits the Alter S deck, Mastamon, this hits Bloomlord. This hits basically every deck in some form or fashion. This flat out ruins Ravamon.deck, which actually this deck has a hard time against because you can't interact with their Digimon because they're always hiding in their trash. You just play this and pass turn and they just lose. On to our champions, 4 BT12 ShineGreymon. The effect is when Digivolving, you may play a Marcus Daemon from your hand if you don't already have one in play. And then the inheritable is your turn once per turn. One of your red or yellow Tamers becomes suspended, minus 2000 DP in one of your opponent's Digimon. This guy does evo for 2 on all of your Agumons because they all have dinosaur in their traits. He does evo for a full 3 on top of your other rookie. In this case, it would be Pillowmon. And on to our next champion. This is the guy you want to put in your raising area as well. The effect is the same as the EX4 Agumon. This is EX4 GeoGrey. Start of your main phase, if you have a red or yellow Tamer in play, gain 1 memory. The inheritable is also the same. So once per turn, when one of your red or yellow Tamers becomes suspended, draw 1. Also evos for 2 on top of Agumon with dinosaur in their traits, but you do have to play a full 3 if you're evoing on anything else. And then our last champion, 2 Kazemon. The effect is you may Digivolve this Digimon on top of one of your yellow Tamers as if it were a level 3. So I didn't want to play any more GeoGreys. The BT2 GeoGrey would have been the only option, and that one's pretty mid. I wanted to play hybrid because we're playing a bunch of Tamers, so why wouldn't you want to play a couple hybrids? I ended up winning multiple games off this, so I do not regret this decision. Definitely want to play hybrids in this deck. We're playing 3 BT2 ShineGreymons. This is the reason why I wanted to play a yellow base, because this guy's much better than BT4 ShineGreymon in this deck. One, you can evo into him for free off your Marcus Daemon effect. That's really important. And on evo, he plays a Tamer as opposed to the other one, which is a Digiburst style. The effect is when Digivolving, you play a yellow Tamer from your hand without paying its memory cost. The only downside is you don't get the on-play effect, but we're only playing 3 Tamers that actually have an on-play out of the 11 that we are playing. The inheritable is your turn. When you have 3 or more yellow Tamers in play, this Digimon gains security tech +1. I was often swinging for 2 checks with my Megas with this guy. Ends games very quickly. I do not regret playing this card. And then I want to go over my next ultimates at the same time. I wanted to make a change after the tournament was over. This is BT12 ShineGreymon. It evos for 3 on top of any GeoGrey, but you would have to pay the full 4 on top of your Kazemon. The effect is when Digivolving, if you have a red or yellow Tamer in play, you gain a memory. So when you evo into this guy for free off Marcus Daemon, you just gain a memory for free, which is pretty sick. And the all turns effect is once per turn when one of your Tamers is deleted, you may recover a Marcus Daemon from your trash on top of your security stack. That's really nice. So the wombo there is you swing with Marcus Daemon, even this guy for free, gain a memory. Marcus Daemon's only swinging for 3000 DP most of the time, so he'll most likely die to the check, and then he just deletes and then recovers himself on top of your security. Really cool. The inheritable is the exact same effect. All turns once per turn, one of them is deleted, you may recover a Marcus Daemon from your trash. So you can actually proc this effect 2 times in one turn if you have 2 Marcus Daemons that are swinging. So you'd swing with the first one, evo, it dies, you recover, and then swing with the second one, evo into your Mega on top of this guy, it dies, and then you recover. Really good for prolonging the game and keeping you kind of safe, just walling up with your Marcuses on top of your security. And then we also played 3 ShineGreymon X Antibodies from BT9. Really good card. It evos for 4 on top of all of your level 4s. but it only evos for 1 on top of ShineGreymon, which is really sick. And then when Digivolving effect is you can play a red or yellow Tamer from your hand without paying its memory cost. You do trigger their on play, which is pretty nice. And then if he has ShineGreymon underneath him, you get to minus 2000 DP on one of your opponent's Digimon for every red or yellow Tamer you have in play. Pretty cool. It's a little baby ShineGreymon effect. It does come up quite often. The other static effect is your turn. For each Tamer you haven't played, this Digimon gets 1000 DP. So this guy mid to late game is effectively swinging like a Mega. I determined that I would actually want to cut one of these guys and play a third one of these guys, because being able to wall up with your Marcuses is much better than being able to play Tamers for free. As nice as playing Tamers for free is. Also, the fact that this guy evos for 4 on top of everything does kind of suck. Onto our Megas, we are playing 4 BT12 ShineGreymon. He evos on top of all of your ShineGreymons for just 3 memory, and that's all of your level 5, so he's always going to evo for 3 if you're actually paying the memory price for him. Spoilers, you don't always have to. Then the effect is when Digivolving, for each red or yellow Tamer you have in play, one of your opponent's Digimon and all of your opponent's security Digimon get minus 3000 DP. So he effectively BT2 ShineGreymon's 1 Digimon specifically, and then all of your opponent's security Digimon, so like it lets your Marcuses swing for basically like 20,000 DP effectively. And then the other static effect is your turn, all of your Marcus Daemons get plus 3000 DP and security attack plus 1. So it turns your Marcuses, just if you have one of these on the field, into a 6000 DP Digimon swing for 2 checks. If you get multiples of these out, your opponent's probably dead that turn. And then as our secondary Mega, we played 2 BT2 ShineGreymons. This guy does unfortunately always evo for 4 if you are paying the memory cost for him. The effect is absolutely worth it. The effect is when Digivolving, suspend all of your yellow Tamers, and then for each Tamer you suspended this way, activate the following effect, minus 4000 DP on one of your opponent's Digimon. So because of the way this is worded, you can actually split up the 4000 DP minuses, and you can basically just nuke an entire board mid to late game with this guy. And then the other static effect is your turn, this Digimon gets 1000 DP for all of the Tamers you have in play, so it's effectively like the ShineGreymon X antibody effect. So he swings for pretty huge numbers mid to late game. There is a combo with this guy that I did, I believe, at least twice during the tournament that I'll show you guys at the end of the video. It's really filthy. And here's the Mon of the hour. We are playing 3 ShineGreymon Ruin modes from EX4. Evos for 4 on top of ShineGreymon specifically. So evos for 4 on top of all of your Megas, assuming you're paying the memory cost to evo into him. He has 15,000 DP. The effects are when Digivolving / on deletion, all of your opponent's Digimon get minus 5,000 DP until the end of their next turn. So because that's not once per turn, if you can evo into this guy and delete him in the same turn, it blankets your opponent's entire field through their next turn by 10,000 DP. That basically keeps them from being able to play the game effectively, unless they already have a Mega in Raising, which most decks don't put Megas in Raising before they promote. It basically keeps them from Raising. They can't evo into hybrids. They can't do anything. The other effect is end of attack. Delete this Digimon and one of your opponent's Digimon, then recover plus 1. Then if you have a Tamer in play, hatch 1 Digi-Egg in an open space in your Raising area. So it's basically like an analog youth effect where it sets you up to wombo them the following turn. So if you evo into him and swing with him and he survives the check, you're always going to proc that second effect, the on deletion. I did that at least a few times during the tournament, and it did exactly what I stated. It basically skipped my opponent's turn. Like, they could play a Tamer or Memory Boost or something, but they couldn't do anything else, and that effectively just swung the game in my favor if I was behind. And a lot of times, even just getting 5,000 DP minus on your opponent's field for the turn will also keep them from being able to play, especially if they just have a champion in Raising at that point. This guy is stupid. This guy absolutely ruined everyone I played against. LOL. Onto our Tamers. We are playing 4 BT12 Marcus Daemon. He is a 4-cost yellow-red Tamer. The effect is start of your main phase. If you have an Agumon or Greymon in play, you may pay 1 memory to have this Tamer also treated as a 3000 DP Digimon for the turn. And then the other effect, your turn when this becomes suspended, evo one of your Digimon into a yellow Digimon with Greymon in its name without paying the cost. So effectively the combo is you pay a memory, turn him into Digimon, swing with him, then on swing you get to evo one of your guys into one of your mini Greymons that you play in this deck for free. That includes your level 7s and level 6s. That's really, really stupid. And then if he dies, ideally you have the BT12 rise and you just get to recover him on top of your security stack. Really broken card. Then on to our next Tamer. We are playing 3 TK Takashi from BT1. This is a 4-cost Tamer. Start of your turn, if you have 2 or fewer memories, set your memory to 3, so he's our memory setter. And then on play, look at your security stack, add 1 card to your hand. If it was yellow, recover plus 1. The entire deck's yellow, so you're always going to recover 1. This guy effectively treats your security as a second hand. By far my favorite memory setter in the game right now. And then on to our last Tamer, 4-cost Tai Kamiya and Kari Kamiya from BT9. This is a red-yellow Tamer. The effect is start of your turn. If you have 3 or fewer security cards, gain 1 memory. If your opponent has 3 or fewer security cards, gain 1 memory. So mid to late game, you're getting 2 memory off each one of these. Really, really impactful. The more memory you have in this deck, the more broken your plays can be, especially when most of your stuff is free. And then the other effect is your turn. When one of your red or yellow Digimon attacks, you can suspend this Tamer to minus 2000 DP to all of your opponent's security Digimon. Really cool that you can always proc this, whether you're attacking a Digimon or your opponent's security. So that lets you proc all of your inheritables that require you to suspend Tamers without having your Marcus in play. All right, so here is by far my favorite combo that I pulled off. So you start off, you just need a level 4. It doesn't really matter what your sources are. You need a level 4 and the ability to evo into a level 5 without passing turn. That's it. We're going to demonstrate, this is our hand. So what we do is we evo into ShineGreymon, and then play Marcus Damon for free. You can't turn him into Digimon at this point because you can only do that start of main phase. So what you do is you evo into this ShineGreymon for 4 memory. ShineGreymon will suspend Marcus Damon, and then Marcus Damon's effect will proc, and then you get to evo into Ruin mode for free. I did that multiple times, and that locked my opponent out of the turn because of the minus 5000 DP. Like early game, if you can do this to somebody, just the 5000 DP blanket effect, it effectively keeps him from being able to play for an entire turn. It's really, really ignorant. But that is the deck that absolutely ruined my locals. I went undefeated through 4 rounds. I played against ShineGreymon, Bloomlordmon, D-Reaper, and Mastamon. Basically plowed my way through all 4 rounds. Even though the first 2-ish rounds I was actually potatoing through my turns because I was still figuring out how to work the deck and like what combos I had access to. But if you guys have any questions that I didn't address, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'd be happy to answer anything. And I do appreciate you guys stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy seeing this kind of content. I want to come back for more. But until next time, see ya.